Geddon is done. The meta is moving. Let's take a look. Hi guys, welcome back to Casting Commons, the show where we talk and discuss all things Pauper. I am your host Teasdale, and this is my co-host, the truffle snout himself, Reese. Do you like truffle?
No, it's horrible.
Before we start, don't forget to support us by rating us 5 stars on Spotify, following us on Twitter at CastingCommons1 for the most recent Pauper deck lists, and of course, subscribe to us on YouTube. First of all, I would just like to mention, I am ill at the moment. I'm recovering from the COVID, so I'm recovering from a flu-like thing, just to let you know, it still exists. Please don't comment about my nose and my sniffling. I will try and not, but you know.
Teasdale ill as always.
As always, but actually ill this time. Not just like this middle ground crap healthcare that just keeps me, surviving on coffee is not good for you, so you always have a really crap immune system. But yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
In your empty house?
My room, all my background looks probably very odd if you're watching on YouTube. It's because I'm moving house. That has unfortunately meant I haven't really played any Magic. My new house that was sort of half in also doesn't have any internet. So I've left my computer and come back. But that also means I still can't do any sort of Magic stuff other than watch Teasdale play challenge on my phone, which was fun, to be fair, which was good.
Yeah, there was a slight benefit from... I was sort of hiding in my room for the weekend, so I didn't give this to my son. So my wife was very kind enough to bring me some food and, water and leave it at the door sort of thing, like it was like 2019 or 2021 again or whatever. So it meant I could essentially just play some games. So I played a lot of Battlegrounds and 2 Pauper challenges. Yeah, it was okay. Every cloud and all that. For this week, we haven't really got a Pauper thought of the week, mainly because, well, I've been dying, Reese has been moving, so we haven't really had much time to talk about that sort of stuff. We saw and ahhed about a couple of options, but we ultimately decided probably not worth to do one this week. We'll obviously come back next week with a really cool one, hopefully, when we get our thinking hats on.
Because we're on the December chill out now.
That's the thing.
Just relaxing on the way to Christmas.
That's what it is.
Letting it slide.
Standards are dropping for Christmas just to come back up in the new year. You know how it goes. Listen to other podcasts. Clearly their standards are obviously much higher than ours, clearly. But no, in all seriousness, we'll come back next week with a pretty good Pauper thought. We'll get our thinking caps on. So we're just going to dive right in. Because we also have extra challenges and the episodes are getting longer and longer. Because we keep getting more and more challenges. And like now, when we could just move on, I keep rambling on, and that's why they're getting longer. So just going to do some housekeeping. Pauper 1K is it this weekend? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Pauper 1K in Portland, Mox Boarding House, 13th of December. Link is in the description. That is this weekend. And then also this weekend, we have the Pauper Wonderland, Chicago, 14th of December. There'll be a collection neighborhood for aid and food and pantry. Always a good way. I really enjoy these, and I really enjoy hyping these up. If you are in the area, if you have that weekend free, I know it's near Christmas, but it is a great way to give back while also playing the great game and the great format that we love. So please, if you are in the area, please do check that out. And again, with the other one, the final one, the Upstate New York Pauper charity event, 20th of December. That is in Rochester, New York. Link for that is in the description. Again, if you are free and in the area, even a little bit out, it'd be a great way, obviously, to give back at this time of year as well. Always a great thing to do for Christmas. And get to play, obviously, the best format there is, clearly, after seeing the news-wise. I have a little bit of news that at the moment, the giveaway for December for the play points won't be happening. Don't know why. I don't know what it is.
Or if there's something else.
I don't know yet. But basically, all I know is that I don't have any giveaway codes for December. So there will be no giveaway in that sense. I'll speak to Carl, see if they'll still do a card market credit. And if that's the case, obviously that limits who can get the credit, because they only obviously give the codes and credit to European countries. But we'll see what we can do. Try and see if we can get something sorted. But that is all we have. If I have more news, I will obviously let everyone know in the Discord. Another place you definitely should be at, on our way to like over near 200 people or something like that. So it's pretty good. It's starting to pop off. So if you are interested in talking crap about Pauper with a great bunch of people, or just give Reese some crap and he'll answer you 3 days later. Tag him. Just spam tag him. You do know you're just going to get spam tagged now in the Discord. Anyways, enough of that. We definitely are on a wind down here this week. That's for sure. Anyways, let's talk challenges. To be fair, they're pretty interesting this week.
Yeah. There's some sweet ones, definitely.
So starting off on Thursday.
Yeah, the usual 4 challenges now that we have a Thursday challenge.
Woo!
Thursday, the 4th of December, 42 players, so sort of decent-ish player count for a new challenge. First place was Mono Red Sly. Second place was Mono Blue Terror. Third place was Blue Black Terror. Third place was also Mono Blue Terror. Fifth was Mono Red Madness. Sixth was Boros Moxite. Seventh was Elves. And eighth was Poison Storm. And then the 2 near misses. Ninth was Grixis Affinity. And 10th was another copy of Elves. So I guess sort of apart from the small glut of Terror at the top, although that has its own variety with 1 blue black and 2 different mono blue versions, a pretty mixed up challenge with some sort of outliers that you don't normally see, with Poison Storm and the Mono Red Sly list as well. I guess starting on the Mono Red Sly list, giving it 1. This is the 4 synth for Inventor's Axe, super creature heavy mono red list.
Yeah.
Sits, I guess, even further creature slanted than the rally list.
Yeah.
It's cool. 4 Gingerbread still got the 2 Goldhounds, which still looks questionable. But yeah, nice to see sort of another version of Mono Red doing well, because even a classic Pingerburn's been doing fairly well as well. So like the Mono Red space in Pauper at the moment is pretty open. Obviously Madness seems like it is better than the rest, but not sort of head and shoulders better. There definitely seems to be space for these 3 or 4 other versions of Mono Red, which is cool.
Yeah, I versed this deck. I don't know if it was in the challenge or when I was recording. I think the interesting thing about this, like, I don't really like the Goldhounds. I really don't. Yeah. I feel like it gets stuck on one land a lot. It sort of felt like I think both games are from memory when I versed it. Someone will be able to correct me if it is on a video or whatever. Like, they never seen the Goldhound, they just kept seeing the other 1-drops. It was really, because obviously they were just stuck on one land both games.
Yeah.
And I like, for multiple turns as well, it was like there were at least 10, 12 cards deep both games with only one land. I don't know if that was that game and that variance. That's sort of where that Goldhound slot sort of comes in. It's a land that's also a creature that can attack. That's also, do you know what I mean? And
I guess that's sort of one of those just variance games though. Like 17 lands, not the lowest. Basically, actually everything in the deck costs 1, other than a kicked bushwhacker. And you have like a bit of card draw. You've obviously got the 4 Simps, the 4 Percussionists, the 4 Epicures as well. So you have the ability to find those lands. But yeah, I could definitely see, like, in a situation, it probably makes 1-landers more appealing. I don't know. It's a weird one. It
is.
It's like if you could play any of the other 1-drops. I think I said this last time. If you could play 2 more copies of any of the other 1-drops, you would just do that instead.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting sort of sideboard deck as well from a Mono Red deck to have 2 Silvok life staffs in the sideboard. Quite a cool thing to see. Obviously, this deck can utilize it very well, where basically none of the other Mono Red lists can. It can't really sack too much, but just they're gonna have to kill something eventually because you're beating the head in. And combos with the aforementioned Goldhound, I guess you can equip it and sack the Goldhound.
There's actually quite a few stuff that they could, if they get the lands for it, right? They can sacrifice as well.
Yeah.
Which isn't the worst.
There's the Lucky and the Gingerbrew.
Yeah.
If you're like equipping and then sacking, you're pretty far down the line, aren't you? If you're in that position, you've probably already lost.
Yeah, very much so, but it's interesting.
I do just like it, like you equip it to a Clockwork Percussionist against another red deck, like what they're going to do. They're just going to take 2 constantly forever.
Yeah, that's the interesting...
Or 4 if they've got an axe on.
That's definitely the interesting thing that I do like about it, though. It's like not even necessarily the sacrificing, it is literally just... in the mirror, I'm going to put this on this guy, and you're either just going to eventually run out of removal spell, and you're just killing the guys that give me value, like, as you say, the percussion. You let it go, it sits there, and then it's now attacking for extra damage, and eventually going to have to do something about it. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting, for sure.
Moving on to the little group of terrors. I don't know what a pack of terrors is called. The second place one is a variant of just the standard Delver list. It's pretty much stock. There's 2 disrupts instead of a spell pierce and a counter spell, but barring that, it's basically just a stock list.
Yeah, I think we covered this last week, right? It was basically a deck that cut the counter spell for some disrupts, so it looks like the exact same. Maybe change sideboard.
The third place blue black is the Abandoned Attachments Sneaky Snacker version. That is sort of the more heavier blue black side of things. Yeah. With the snuff outs and cast downs. They've also done exactly what I suggested last week. and cut the one of Unexpected Fangs for the fourth abandoned attachments.
Definitely the correct thing to do.
Yeah, which is cool. The deck just looks pretty clean. Interesting to see they've got a 3 Gurmag Angler and 1 Murmurer Mystic as the other threats outside the 4 Snackers, 4 Terrors. And on what that split should be, if you should maybe even just go 4 Anglers and put the Mystics in the sideboard, or go even harder on Mystics, maybe go to 2 Anglers and 2 Mystics. But yeah, definitely interesting space for blue-black to be playing in.
Yeah, sure. I really like this list, and I really like what Abandoned Attachments has done for this deck, to be fair.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to seeing how this moves forward.
It sort of made it look halfway reasonable, I think. Like the blue-black ones with Modern Age, as we sort of touched on last time, just look clunky, whereas this looks pretty clean.
Yep.
And then moving on to our third and final Terra in 4th place. Luminati, always innovating with basically the sort of go-to Mystic list now, and run it and perform with it really well. It's obviously been fine-tuning this a lot. Settled on just the 2 Mystics in the main, no Delvers. Gone up to 4 Demon Inferiors and full 4 Ponders, and that's basically come at the cost of some of the lower end disruption. So there's only 2 Dispels, there's no Force Spike, there's no Spell Pierce. Again, like a pretty well-tuned version at this point. And nice to see a bit of a different take on Mono Blue Terra. It sort of opens that space up a bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was due to the shift in what did well at Geddon. So, like, the Force Spike stuff is pretty bad against Blue-Black Terra, Core Gates, Familiars, that sort of level, where the Dispels and the removal spells can come in quite useful, and obviously shelling out your draws. So that's kind of my thought process, is where I wouldn't be surprised if Luminati expected to verse a lot of blue-black FAMs and blue-white FAMs and Corgate to sort of make that shift.
I think especially with the 2 deep analysis, 2 Murmur Mystic as well, it's very sort of control forward, isn't it? It's like, I want to play against the control decks.
Yep.
Cutting the Delvers is sort of a double-edged sword. Like, some matchups it's the worst card in the deck by far, but some matchups it's literally the best card in the deck by far. So it's a bit of a weird one. It does sort of give that polarizing effect. Same with the Force Spike, really. Like, some matchup Force Spike is like, that is the 1-mana interaction you want, and then other matchups it's like completely unplayable. Yeah,
I can definitely see them. Like, there's definitely space for both, for sure, but it's just what you expect. But I as I say, I think they probably just expected the more people to pick up Core Gates and FAMs and stuff.
Going to the sideboard, one of the sort of immediate effects I noticed is the 4 Gut Shots and a Piracy Charm. Obviously, one of the matchups Delver is quite good against is Elves, and you've removed 4 Delvers, and it's already a bad matchup.
Yep.
So, yeah, doubling down basically on the Elf 8, going from 2 to 3 Gut Shots to essentially 5, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Makes sense, really.
Piracy Charm doubles down as like Artful Dodge type card in the mirror as well, which is also quite cool. Other than that, just the sort of usual Hydroblasts and Nulls, one of Envelop still make. And then really the only other deck I wanted to touch on from this one was Sheeb's Mono Green Elves in 7th place, and the Truffle Snout comment at the start of the episode. Running 2 Truffle Snouts in the sideboard against Vitagazi Inspector 5 and 6? Question mark.
I'm guessing so. That's the consensus I would go with. All right, I guess it puts a counter on itself. Yeah, it puts a counter on itself. So it's just life gain in it. It's just another. It's like the disciple sort of slot. So that was my. I don't know why I thought it put a counter on something else.
Yeah, is it like makes itself a 3/3, which is not an irrelevant body. Obviously, still dies the bolt, but like dodges all the dart or double dart.
But mainly there, I imagine for the gain 4, right? Obviously, so it's like a disciple, like the disciple and the what's the other one? The Spirewood Paladin. Those sort of card slots.
Yeah, or the big changeling spider against 5 if you have a guy in the yard. It's an interesting one. The sideboard is really life gain heavy. There is 2 Well-Wishers in the main, but there's 2 more in the side, and then 2 Nylea's Disciple and 2 Truffle Snout and 4 Vitagazi Spectre and a Gingerbread Cabin. So yeah, it's definitely slanted to I need something for this Mono Red Madness deck.
More I'm thinking this Snout as well. It's like I get the life gain, like a lot of life gain, but I'm actually starting to think surely this Snout must be better than Disciple, right?
Yeah,
especially against Madness.
I would sort of lean towards that because you often, especially against Madness in particular, you end up with not very much in play, and like Disciple gain 2 life is really underwhelming. And it's costless.
Yeah, it costs less, and also it blocks. If even against rally, it blocks the 1/1s. So if you're high on life, you can make it a 3/3, so it blocks a bushwhacked 1/1. But then if not, you can also just get him, and it blocks a 1/1. But that is just better, all around better than Disciple.
Definitely a cool one. Other 4 cards in the sideboard are just 4 copies of Monstrous Emergence, which seems like the goated elf staple at this point.
This person seems to have gone on because the last Monstrous Emergence player was on like 2 hunters, right? Or like 1 hunter or something. They weren't on like the full 4 or something like that. They weren't on the 4 big, they weren't on the full 8 big guys, right? But here they've got the 4 Avenging Hunter, 4 Generous End.
It definitely makes it look better. Obviously, you've got the 4 Timberwatch as well. Meaning you can actually activate this card and kill stuff. I think we mentioned it last week or the week before, that do you need a big guy for this to be good, because otherwise it doesn't kill anything, and then got a load of comments of people saying, oh well, it just needs to kill Gutter Snipe, it's really good, it kills Gutter Snipe. Then if you look at every creature other than the big guys, none of them kill Gutter Snipe, so you still just need a big guy to make it work. But yeah, definitely going up to 4 hunter, 4 end and 4 Timberwatch makes it look pretty good.
Yeah, I think the thing is, obviously, the thing I like about this compared to, obviously, is the guy can be in your hand.
Yeah.
Because obviously Madness will just lava dart everything. So obviously that's why I think I like the idea of going up on the Ensign Hunters. It is awkward having a Hunter though, because you don't really want Hunter against like Madness, I guess, but I don't know, maybe you do. It's an awkward one, right? Because obviously they have snackers. It's like an awkward balance, but
probably it is only snacker though.
Yeah.
But Hunter is sort of fine. And you're not cutting anyway.
No,
and then if you're putting like Truffle Snouts and stuff in, Truffle Snout conveniently 2/2 kills Gutter Snipe perfectly from the sideboard.
Big brain. And Disciple.
Yeah, but I definitely think that should just be 2 more Truffle Snouts.
Hey, Disciple kills Flame Breather.
I think that's less important. But yeah, it's an interesting one with that 2/2 split, I guess, because maybe in a matchup where they're not killing you guys that you want life gain, obviously the Disciple's going to look a lot better. Although those are few and far between. I guess it's like Heroic maybe, or White Weenie maybe. Like you sort of reach in there, and then they're sort of pretty good matchups anyway, because you've got main deck Mass Vandals and you just shit on White Weenie from a great height.
Yeah, I think you probably maybe, I don't know, like Red-Black maybe. They kill less things.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
And do a lot of damage. Are you really having the 2/2 split for Red-Black Madness to verse it once every...
But yeah, it's cool. I like the addition of Monstrous Emergence is like a huge one. Like, I feel like it's probably just a staple in Elves at this point. But Truffle Snout's definitely an interesting one. Seems like no one can really find the answer to that life gain slot outside of the 4 Vitagazis and X amount of Well-Wishers, basically. But this definitely looks sort of the closest, I guess, to a permanent answer.
Yeah. The more I look at the card, the more it's like, even though it just looks on face value, 3 mana 2/2.
Anything else you want to touch on in the Thursday? I feel like we've spent a lot of time on the Thursday, but it is quite interesting.
Obviously, just want to shout out again Viashino, obviously with his Boros Moxite. Nothing too crazy, looks pretty much as it has been.
Angelic Purge in the sideboard.
I was getting to that.
That's crazy.
But yeah, nothing too crazy in the main. In the side, as Reese alluded to there, there's an Angelic Purge in the sideboard, which for those that don't know what this is, it's a 2 and a white sorcery as an additional cost to cast it. Sacrifice a permanent. Exile target artifact, creature, or enchant. Good 3 mana catch-all at the sake of sacking a permanent.
Yeah, they're obviously like trying some different bits. Like one of the Goliath Paladins made it into the main deck. The Volshock Sorcerer is back. Yeah. There's a Rest from the Weary and another Goliath Paladin alongside this one of Angelic Purges and just a bunch of like one-offs in the sideboard. Yeah, it's cool to see them sort of
experimenting
with this deck.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that was there was nothing interesting like Poison Storm, right? Which I could see. It looked fairly stock.
It looked like Poison Storm to me.
Yeah, it's nothing too crazy.
Moving on to the Friday challenge then. Friday the 5th of November, 47 players, so not actually that much bigger than the Thursday, which is interesting. First place, Mono Blue Terror. Second place, Grixis Affinity. Third place, Colgate. Fourth place, Blue Black Terror. Fifth place, Gardens. Sixth, Red Black Madness. Seventh, Grixis Affinity. And eighth, Ponza. And then the 2 near misses. Ninth was Mono Red Madness. And 10th was Garden. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Basically, all the decks everyone would expect to be there are there.
Pretty much.
Luminati did win this one after coming, fourth? Was it on the Thursday. Basically the same list, if not exactly the same list, with the 4 Demon Inferior, 4 Ponder, 2 Dispel in the main, and then the 5 Elf Hate cards in the sideboard.
Looks identical to me.
Outside of that, there's sort of not a lot interesting going on. The Colgates, I guess, is a bit more unusual than normal because it's splashing black in the sideboard for Extractor Confessions, alongside the usual red splash for like the sweepers that it has.
There's a lot of Guardians in the main.
Three Guardians.
3 Guardians of the guild pack.
I feel like that's a very old number of Guardians. I feel like Colgate just, when it come out, just ran 3 Guardians. I've got used to it running like 1 or none.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a very old school sort of thing. It's interesting that that's the number they've come up with. Is it because of Gardens and Terror, maybe? I guess if you resolve it against Terror, it's pretty good. I don't know. Unsure why they've come to that number.
It's pretty good against Jim Wildfire as well, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't die to anything to have like the Crack Clan Hugger.
But it can't attack as well, right? Obviously with the spawns and stuff, but it definitely doesn't. They can't kill it.
Yeah, like I guess they can jump it with a spawn.
Oh, yeah, like, you know, you're not going to ride into a Writhing Chrysalis or whatever. You know,
yeah, you just pump it, don't you?
That looks like it's come at the cost of the sort of 1-mana interaction spells, right? No, like Envelop or Dispel or Outlife and 2.
Yeah, it's pretty light on instants and sorceries. It's basically just Brainstorm, Counterspell, Lorien, and then the 3 Thraben Charm, 3 strands.
Oh, yeah.
There's not even an extra strands in the board either, or an extra charm, which is interesting, I guess, for Colgates. Outside of that, there wasn't too much spicy going on. The Ponza was the list with the 1-off Stone Rain, which everyone seems to has picked up as the Ponza list at the moment, I guess. Unless be Madness. Yeah, 2 Feed the Clans alongside the 4 Weather the Storms. I guess like the popularity of Madness at Geddon maybe is like shifted people to be like, right, I need maximum life gain in my sideboard.
Yeah, I don't really get the logic of there's a bunch of Madness, so let's submit Ponza. Seems like a pretty bad matchup in general. Like red in general seems pretty bad. You've just got to like hope for weather. Like, is that how you want to play a deck like against a deck like that? No?
I guess it's more, I'm going to play Ponza. What do I need in my sideboard?
I guess, sure.
Like, I feel like Ponza's not something you sort of look at the meta and choose to play. It's something that I want to play Ponza this week. I'm going to play it.
I want to blow people's lands. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's
it's interesting though, because the Feed the Clan sort of just looks better than the Weather the Storms. Like, I always felt like Weather the Storm in the Ponza or the red-green decks just looked bad. Like, it usually gains like 6 or 9, where the Feed the Clan just looks like it's going to gain 10.
Yeah, it's a weird one, right? Because obviously Weather the Storm's just a better card against like the red decks, but it comes at the cost of you doing nothing.
Yeah, I guess it's a better reactive card, where the Feed the Clan's more of a just proactive card. I guess it's slightly better to cascade into a Weather as well if you've got nothing on board, but like if you have anything on board, the Feed the Clan just looks better.
Imagine just blind board and pie and hit the Feed the Clan, you're like, oh, okay, I guess I game 5 now.
Yeah, like you have to have nothing else though, and then it's only 1 life less than if you'd hit a Weather. Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange one, especially now they're back on like dinosaurs and the 4 dinosaurs, the 4 hunters, the 4 boredom parties, and the 4 chrysalids. Like, that's a lot of guys that are big. Maybe they're just not fast enough though. Yeah, don't know.
It is interesting though. I do think though, if I was to play Ponza, I probably would say like, I know we're talking about nuances here, but I do think Feed the Clan fits your deck better compared to, as you're saying, it fits your deck better than Weather. Like, Weather is the better card in general.
Yeah.
Because obviously it'll gain more life, but it does, like, coming at the cost of you doing nothing is massive.
Maybe it's more of a maybe it's more obvious in the red-green ramp list rather than the Ponza list. Like, Feed the Clan in that list, when they've got even more just 4 power guys, looks even better. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not certain on the numbers, but from what I've seen play, like, Weather's always been underwhelming and been usually less than 10 life anyway, unless you just sat waiting for them to do something and then they can just play around it. Like, Madness has no real issue playing around a Weather the Storm that's being held up.
But that's like sort of like my thing though. Like, in the way generally like Ponza and Red Green Ramp play with these Arbor Elf things, you do have 2 mana lying around. Like, that's not out the question. Yeah. But it's not 2 mana lying around. Generally, it's not 2 mana lying around throughout the whole turn, because you usually go and tap my land, untap my land, tap this extra land, this 1 extra land I'll cast something, I've got 2 mana floating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, well, that works really well with Feed the Clan. I get to carry on my turn and gain 10 life. Or I get to carry on my turn and gain 5 life, which is still probably better than holding up a Weather, not playing the creature you were going to play, to hopefully gain more than 6 life. Yeah, I think the more I look at this, I think Feed the Clan seems like a better fit. Which is interesting. Maybe you should try it out. Ponzering people. I'm going to choose to Ponzer someone with 4 Feed the Clan in the sideboard. That's the plan.
I guess just a final note on the Ida challenge, unless you've got any other decks to pull out. There was 2 more copies of Corgate in 11th and 12th.
Yep, it's back.
So there was a lot of Corgate in the top 16 compared to like we used to seeing maybe 1, if that.
In the top 32.
Yeah, exactly. And there was 3 in the top 16, which is cool and definitely impact of Pauper Geddon. Moving on to the Saturday challenge. First place, talking about Pauper Geddon, was Fans. Second place was Mono Red Madness. Third place was Red Green Ramp. Fourth was Red Black Madness. Fifth was Mono Blue Terror. Sixth was Boros Moxide. Seventh was Flickertron. And 8th was Jund Wildfire. And then the 2 near misses, 9th was Mono Blue Terror and 10th was Spywall. Did you play in this challenge? I can't remember which one you played in other than the Sunday.
Yeah, it was a Saturday. I did play in this.
Did it go well?
I played Spy Elves for those that were curious. Played Spy Elves. I versed Spywall. I didn't go so well. I think I went like 2-2.
What, 2-2 drop? You can 5-2 top 8?
I couldn't be bothered with that. I think that's what I did. I think it was 2-2 drop.
Fair.
I went to bed instead. I wasn't very well. I just went back to sleep. Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't that bad. I think the 2 losses were like, I think like one of them I made them discard the hate piece and they drew another or something along them lines. And I was like, okay, I don't care. I lost that variance. And then the next one I think was sort of similar. Like they needed like 3 or 4 hate pieces and they had 5 or 6 or something like that. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can't be bothered playing this.
How do you feel, I guess, after Geddon and after how much madness there was, and sort of how much madness is showing up in these challenges, like the difference between Spy Elves and Spy Walls now?
I think for me, it's always going to be down to the backup plan of each. The mana base and how the meta shifts, like always going to dictate like the deck. And I think the big thing for Spy Elves is even if you just get here I've got a bunch of mana stuff, they all turn sideways.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Your 1/1s all turn side. And I know it's like Elves. You just draw a bunch of dudes and if that's the case, they all attack. And 6 1/1s will add up over time. They will have to start dealing with 6 1/1s.
Yeah.
And that's the sort of thing.
I was more sort of trying to dig into, obviously, Madness is not a great matchup for either of these decks, really. But the Walls list, like the creatures are a lot more resilient and don't just get completely dismantled by Lava Dart for the most part. Whereas obviously the Elf version, you probably struggle to keep your mana in play to be able to function really either plan against a deck like Madness.
Yeah, the both just, I do think if you are going to play, that's the main thing is if you are going to play against Madness, I would just generally recommend playing Spy Walls because it's very hard for them to kill an 0/4 generally, even though it is a race and most likely they will win. It's less horrendous, right? Because of that.
I think it's just it's an actual cost for them to kill Overgrown Battlement.
Yeah.
Whereas to just go dart at a Priest of Titania is like they don't care.
No. Yeah, and that's the big thing as well. But against a lot of the other stuff, like say like the Resurgence of Gardens, for example, or the resurgence of a lot of I would even argue the blue-white deck. Again, I just feel like that's where the backup plan sort of comes in. And the backup plan for Spy Walls is, well, normal. I would say the backup plan for normal Spy Walls, I played a bit of not a different version, but I put more of a backup plan in there with 3 Hunters, which we'll get to on Sunday.
I guess the flip side of that coin, like the Madness coin, with it being the most played deck, obviously the second most played deck was Mono Blue Terror, and we're seeing a lot of Mono Blue Terror. I feel like both of these have a fine Terror matchup, but it probably Elves is a lot more fine, I guess, than the Walls version.
Yeah, that's generally my finding. They're both relatively decent matchups, but yeah, I think generally Elves obviously does generally win out on that because you have Timberwatch and more threats.
And can go faster.
Yeah, and that as well. But yeah, I think I can't remember. I think it was 2-2 drop. But
not a challenge to remember.
No, I couldn't really be bothered either. I also did register a league as well that morning. I tried like Village Rights Mogwarts, and then I played 1 game and I dropped from the league. I was like, I can't be bothered.
Moving on to some of the interesting decks then in this challenge, I guess third place, the Red Green Ramp is quite an interesting Red Green Ramp list. Trying some different things. There's 4 Ram throughs, full 4 Ram throughs in the main. Only one Sagu, 3 Nick Spawns, and then 2 Crimson Fleet Commodores also in the main. Sort of some funky numbers going on.
Yeah, I have no logical reasoning for. I'm out. Sorry. I guess Commodore for Gardens is my first thing. Like Gardens, the blue-white decks. You're sort of okay. You want some monarchiness. Doesn't seem that good at the same time.
I think if you're expecting a lot more of the control decks, like Corgates, or not Corgates in particular, but like Fams or Gardens, well, yeah, even Corgates, like something like this could work, but it feels a bit counteracted by the then 4 ram-throughs.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it all seems very weird though, because it's like, so you're playing the Commodore. It seems like to me they've went, right, I need Crimson Fleet Commodore to deal with the control decks. That's what they went. Monarch good against control mid-range. And that's kind of where they went, and they went, oh crap, all these mid-range control decks all have a lot of good flyers and semi-decent removal. Like, I know what I'll do. I'll add in 4 ram-throughs for the removal. And that's sort of like the thing that they've got to.
I mean, they came third.
I'm not saying that it's green-red ramp. It's going to do green-red ramp things. It's going to curve out. It's going to win some games. It's going to have a 5-2 that tramples, and it's going to get them dead. Like, don't get me wrong. But does that mean that Crimson Fleet Commodore and 4 ram-throughs is better than 2 extra Sagus and something else? No, probably not.
Yeah, I think sort of the losses, obviously, there's no Ents, there's no Land Cyclers at all. Obviously, there's only 1 Sagu and 3 Hydras. There's none of the Cascaders either. But yeah, it's sort of... It's a lot more, I guess, low to the ground for the red green ramp. You're basically going 2-4. Like, you've got the 4 hunters, but then apart from that, everything's more or less, really.
This is another thing that sort of confuses me as well. It looks like it's lowered its curve to maximise going 1 to either 3 or 4 to basically either get the Arbor Elf Utopia Spell Star or just a random dork into a 3-drop. It's only running 3 wild growths. Again, another thing that absolutely baffles my head.
Also, yeah, it's a weird one because that curve sort of, half of it goes, if you get the nuts, you obviously go 1 to 4. But then if you just get like the more usual curve, you go 1, 3, 5. Then you've only got 400.
And a Sagu.
So you just like, sort of, well, yeah, I guess a Sagu, you could cast a Sagu 1-5, I guess. So you just sort of like hold the mana, but then you don't need to hold the mana because your curve's so much lower. Yeah. It's a weird one. Interesting to see sort of different takes on these red green lists. Both still doing well.
The one thing I do like is no wooded ridgeline, which seems to be still commonplace in the non-Ponza list.
Yeah, I think especially in this where there's no Ents, there's obviously no acid mosses because it's not Ponza. Like it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Oh no, I agree. Paths still exist. God knows why.
I'm actually sort of surprised that there's 2 mountains. I feel like there could probably only be 1 and it would be fine. You've still got the 4 Utopias, you've got 4 Geothieves, you've got 4 Avenging Hunters, you would have 1 mountain and then you've got 3 Rumbles.
And the one of Sagu as well, look at it.
Yeah, I guess it maybe in 2 mountains insulate you if the wildfire just like pops your mountain. But
I really like the Sagu in this deck, by the way. Run more. It's coming. Cut the Commodore. Run more.
Outside of that, there was nothing too interesting going on. All Eyes on Me coming 7th with Flickertron. Yeah, it looks like Flickertron. It's got some Generous Ents in.
And a Nick Spawn Hydra.
Got a Nick Spawn Hydra for some green, sort of, I guess, to just finish the game for once, maybe. But, I think this is basically come at the cost, like, they're not playing the red pinger anymore from Final Fantasy, right? It's just 1 Murmur Mystic and then this sort of green feature suite.
Don't hate this. I don't really understand the Generous Ents in particular. I guess it meant... Are they down a land? I don't know, they're on like 19 land.
Yeah, maybe. Can work in the end for you 2 Tangled Islands.
I know they normally run 1 Tangled Islet. No, I don't know. They're on 4 maps as well. I'm sure All Eyes on Me was not on 4 maps. I'm almost certain they're on like 2. I am not a Flickertron expert to know this, but I am almost...
It gets a lot better when you've got Nick Spawn Hydra. You should like make it bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, I'm no Flickertron expert. This could just be a Caravex torch or something though, and just actually finish the game rather than try and Hydra people. But I guess you can play it a lot earlier. You can literally just play it when you've got 7-8 mana and just stick it on a Mold Drifter and go to town.
Yeah, I think Hydra's it's better at being a better card, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like a back. Like, you just play as a 4-5 or whatever, or even a 5-6 and it just blocks terrors. This is now how I'm surviving.
You've got pulses to bring it back if they get rid of it as well.
Yeah. I don't hate the Hydra at all. I don't get the Generous Ents. I guess maybe Terra. It's a land cycler that sort of just stonewalls Terra that you can pulse back, I guess.
Yeah. It's just sort of a solid guy. Like,
yeah.
Against most decks as well, and you can cast it pretty soon. Like, it lines up pretty well with Tron. Like, if you just got a green source, a tower and a power plant, you just cast it, and then the mine can then eat the food. Like, it fits in the Tron curve pretty well, I guess.
And it works quite well with Tron and Refractor, right? As well, right?
Yeah.
7,
Yeah.
So it fits nicely in the curve. I get it. I'm not hating on it. I wouldn't really question All Eyes on Me any card that I'd put in his deck anyways, but I guess I just need to understand it. But
outside of that, nothing too spicy going on for the rest of the challenge. It was sort of less this is the meta than the Friday challenge, and a bit more spicy, but probably not as spicy as the Thursday.
Well, how about this? I'm gonna top was it Angelic Purge?
All right, okay, yeah.
So with Viashino in 6th place with his Boros Moxite. Can you please explain to me why there is a Goblin Bushwhacker in their sideboard
Gives you sneaky snagger taste.
when you brought them back in the tapped? Like what?
I think that it's maybe did he type Goblin and then click the wrong one?
What Goblin are they after?
Good question. I don't know. It's sort of we'll have to reach out to Viashino and ask.
Maybe it's for the mirror.
What to make your Skyfishes kill theirs?
Make your Skyfishes and your Glinthawks kill theirs. That's the only thing I've got.
It also makes your Snackers kill Glinthawks. Kill Skyfishes, sorry.
What other X3 flyers is there? Modern Age? Maybe it's for that as well. Call Gates.
It is definitely a weird one.
As a one of. Very odd.
The list for the most part is very similar, right? The Goliath Paladin's gone and being replaced by a 4th Lembas.
Yep.
I believe that's the only change in the main. But then the sideboard is still just as wonky as always. I guess is that slot just the weird card slot? Like they've cut the Angelic Purge for this Goblin Bushwhacker.
Probably. They changed the mana bit.
Maybe there's a Raucous Carnival in. Was that in previous?
No, it wasn't. They've cut 2 Radiant Fountains, right? No, they haven't. They have cut. I'm trying to scroll between 2 here. They've cut Great.
Yeah, great. There's no Great Furnace in this one.
There's no Boros Garrison either. It's Boros Garrison that's made the cut. The 2 Boros Garrisons have been cut for your whatever the hell that word was. Whatever that word is.
Carnival.
Raucous.
Which is the 13 life. I guess you don't need to go as high if you've not got stuff like Goliath Paladin in your main.
And obviously the Goblin Bushwhacker's going to put them to 13 or less life a lot. So, they're coming in untapped.
Well, it was more like, I guess the Boros Garrison doesn't tap very well for a Bushwhacker, does it really?
That's what it all is. That's what it is. They can't have the red-white, they need red-red. You're so good, brain.
I don't know, this Moxite list is always just throwing some interesting curveballs.
I love it. I just want to know the thought process behind like these random cards.
Viashino, please join the Discord and tell us.
Yes, please do that.
Happy to move on to the Sunday?
Yes.
So Sunday, the 7th of December, 74 players. So fantastic Sunday challenge. First place, Mono Black Sack. Second place, Gardens. Third place, Fams. Fourth place, Colgate. Fifth place, Jund Wildfire. Sixth place, White Weenie, Heroic. Seventh place, Flickertron. Eighth place, Jund Wildfire. And then the 2 near misses. Ninth was Mono Blue Terror. And 10th was Red Black Madness. And then I believe someone known as Teasdale MTG was, what, 16th?
16.
So you're actually just Teasdale on this?
Yeah, I'm just Teasdale.
You're not even using your fancy account?
What, my DB Teasdale? No.
Yeah?
No.
How did you find the challenge when you played it?
Yeah, it was all right. It was big. 7 rounds. I think every time I play on a random challenge, usually on a Sunday, when I do, or Friday or a Sunday, they're massive for whatever reason. So last time I played on
the best ones to play in, clearly.
Yeah, I think the last one I played was the Friday was before the showcase. There was like 70 odd people in a Friday and was 7 rounds. And then that one I got missed out of. I was X and 1 in round 6 and then lost my round 7. So then that meant that I was X and 2. That knocked me out of top 8, I think, or top 16 or whatever it was. Because there was this extra round, so I got cooked by it being so popular. But then this one, it was 7 rounds. It was okay. 4-2 finish. I played Spy Walls. My main 5-2. 5-2. I've just literally said it's 7 rounds and then went 4-2. yeah. Just so used to 6 rounds. But went 5-2. I lost to... What did I lose to?
Ultratron and Jund Fire.
Yeah. I lost round 1, lost to Ultratron against very good player, but yeah, we were joking about I wind and wade and drew a card. Milled lead the Stampede, wind and wade, and then drew a card. And they untapped, rumbled in game 1, and they effectively, air quotes, drew 4 cards because they revealed Mer Retriever, and something with flashback, like an Eviscerator's Insight. So it was like their Rumble drew more cards than my Windhamware. I was like, what is this shit? But yeah, I got pretty unlucky. I think I Mesfiended them or something like game 3, and they had nothing, and then they drew a Spell Bomb, which then meant I couldn't combo, and then the turn after they comboed off or something. And then during Wildfire, they had their one main deck sideboard card both games. I comboed off on turn 4 or something.
You got Jund Wildfired.
Yeah. You have your one of Crypt Incursion, GG, bro.
It's always an awkward deck to play around because basically it's just Wildfire plus sideboard cards plus Chrysalis. So it's like, well, what list, like how many sideboard cards are they playing? Because most of them don't play Crypt Incursion anymore, right?
I'll take it.
So you just sort of, yeah, well, from what I've been seeing, so you just sort of ran into the one guy that was still playing the one of Crypt Incursion and then had it in his hands.
Both games.
Both times.
In the top 20 cards. Not salty about it at all, but yeah. But yeah, no, other than that, it was pretty good. My main thing is that I took what was a stock sort of list, and then I basically cut stuff and added 3 Vengeance Hunters in the deck. That was basic. I kept the sideboard the same as well. I didn't really mess with the sideboard.
There's 2 Migrating Ketrodons in there that say otherwise.
Yes, I did. I added 2 Migrating Ketrodons. What did they have in? I think they had like Nylea's Disciple in or something. I just fuck that shit, and just put Migrating Ketrodon instead.
You should have had Truffle Snout in that slot.
Now that I definitely should have had. But yeah, that was basically
the Ketrodons seem fine though, to be fair, when you're on the walls package.
But that's my biggest gripe with the deck, right? Is your mana producers do not attack. So therefore, when you get the mana stuff, you're just doing nothing. You're just sitting there with a finger up your ass going, are you doing anything? Because I'm doing nothing. Are you doing anything? And to me, the 2 ways to mitigate that is either more card draw or more pressure. That's kind of where I leaned in more pressure. Like your Vengeance Hunter is a land searcher as well. Your mana dorks are more likely to survive because they're all 4s. You're more likely to be able to cast your Vengeance Hunters. You're more likely to cast your Generous Sense. Yeah. The only thing I did... I guess I did add, it ran a 1 of Petal, and I cut the Petal and added a land, because I really don't like 4 lands. But I would maybe consider going down to 4, because again, my logic on 5 lands is basically you get to go to 6 to cast all your bombs against like the control decks when they're killing all your stuff. They're less likely to do that. I don't know. It's like, I would have to test more to consider that. They're less likely to kill all your mana producers.
I guess the Hunter can pull out an extra land as well, so it's like not that you just lost.
I never had a concern with pull-out lands.
But from spectating, obviously I missed the first round and missed the last round, but I watched you play it in the middle. The Hunter looked really good.
Yeah.
Like, it won multiple games basically by itself.
Yeah.
Or paired with, like, you cast a Hunter, then you untap and cast a Sagu or cast an End. Like, it made the backup plan look legit. So I think you definitely paid off there on that tweak.
Yeah. And that was the big thing. That's my biggest gripe with Wall Spy. If you can master your backup plan, like make it have a decent backup plan, I'm all for it. So yeah, that was it. I thought I'd try it out.
Yeah, it was sweet. Obviously only missing out on the top 8 on breakers as well. Because there was 2 or 3 5/2s that all got in.
2, I think.
Looking at the top 8, Mono Black Sack in first. Pretty cool. I'm sad because it doesn't run any Beckoners, and that is sad. They are playing the sort of weird sadistic Glee tech, but there's also 3 snuff outs in the main as well, which is also a bit strange.
No draw spells, right?
No draw spells. There's 3 unearths, which pseudo draw spell-ish. But yeah, lots of tech stuff with 3 Glee, 3 Rights, 3 snuff out. And then basically going super hard on the sack fodder with 4 Sage, 4 Shambler, and 4 Link Breaker. And then again, just super hard on the sack guys with the 4 Beetles, 4 Feeders, and 4 Vampires. I guess if you've got 4 of everything, you don't need the draw spell.
Yeah, one way of looking at it, I guess. I don't hate the sadistically though.
No, I think Glee's a fine one. It's one of those though, like, it sort of fills the same role as Beckoner for me, where it just makes you go more bananas. Is that not better to have your card that does that be something you can also sack?
Yeah, that's fair. I think the way I see it is maybe, I don't know, but again, I'm seeing it from a perspective. Like, I like the idea of Glee as I will put this on a random shitter, like the flying token of Sage, for example, at best, and I'm going to sack other stuff around it, i.e. to draw cards or, play the game, whatever. And then this guy's just getting bigger over here. And then I don't hate that idea, but make Glee good with no sack stuff. You've kind of just got a what? abyss them, have them kill your other guys. You already have a sack in play, and it's like
it's sort of just another threat, I guess, in this. Like, you're probably not putting it on a blood-thrown vampire or a carrion feeder. You're putting it on, like you said, just something that's left over, a squirrel token or insect token, trying to do your thing with the other guy and then just leave the token to the side, I guess. It seems fine, like, yeah, but it sort of, yeah, I think I agree with you. It sort of looks worse without the draw spell to start with, and then I think I like Beckoner a lot in that I'm gonna do banana stuff slot. So although this can do that sort of alternate threat role, like, then you blame 4 beetles, 4 feeders, and 4 vampires, as well as 3 rites of consumption. Do you need an alternate threat? Like, is this not enough?
I think that's the thing. Like, I don't like mind the card. I just think in this particular list, I just don't think it works. It looks very Winmore to me.
Well, it definitely works, but yeah.
No, but you know what I mean.
It probably looks
like it doesn't to me. It doesn't fit that role. Like, it's kind of like It's kind of like a Gixian. Like it's sort of like if you're already winning, it's getting bigger.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Cool. That is how I see it. It's that sort of thing. Where
you can't really play it as I'm just gonna set up and this guy's gonna get bigger. It's very much I'm already functioning, I'm doing my thing, and this other guy's getting bigger.
But like, so then in that case, to me, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes on a blood throne or a carrion feeder. Because it's not got any...
just tries to turbo to a right.
Because it's gonna kill you quick. Because basically, I've got no draw. I have these 4 sack fodder here, and that's all I'm drawing because I'm drawing 1 card a turn. Put this on here, and I'm going to try and turbo kill you. Is how it probably seems.
That's very committed without any draw spells to recover if they just go, I'll kill you, guy.
That's what I'm thinking. I'd be interested to see the thought process, but that's where I would...
And then sideboard-wise, it's sort of as wild as Mono Black usually is, with just a bunch of 1 and 2 obs, and then 4 tragic slips, just like hard 4, even though there's already 3 Accursed Marauder and 3 Snuff Outs in the main deck, and another Accursed Marauder in the side. They also want 4 tragic slips. They really want to kill things.
Got a snipe. Calling it.
Yeah, maybe like... They're pretty light, I guess, on the life link. They've got the 1 vampiric link and 2 silver life staffs. So they don't have a huge amount of life gain. Going hard on the remove.
Mono Black control now.
Outside of that, was there any other decks you wanted to touch on? I
want to touch on the 3rd place FAMS deck. Which looks surprisingly normal when you just look at it, because you see... Faithful and Archaeomancer and all that sort of stuff. But then you look at that mana base, and it's running 4 Perilous Landscapes, a basic mountain, and a Molten Tributary. So it's splashing red, with 1 Fire and Ice in the main, which I'm assuming, obviously, 1/1s are very well positioned, all that sort of all that sort of stuff. Lava Dart's very good at the moment. You can tap a big guy down, Sleep of the Dead's good. I'm not against that. Kill's got a snipe. Oh, it's going to be a running thing, this now, I'm telling you. But... you also get 4 Pyroblasts in the side, which also seems very important.
Yeah, especially with how big Terra is right now.
And I am all for this, because Terra is a terrible matchup for fans. I can see this wholeheartedly, and I'm all for the change.
The counterspell suite in the main is quite interesting as well. With 2 negates, 1 Essence Scatter, and 2 Prohibits. I feel like that's a bit more split than we normally see.
Very...
Not certain why. I'm no FAMS expert.
I would say it's very old school. Is how I like. That's how they used to be. It was like way back when, but it used to be more like 2/1/1 sort of thing, or like 3/1/1 sort of Prohibit sort of thing. But yeah, against that, I don't mind it. Prohibit seems pretty good right now.
Other than the Essence Scatter should be.
Yeah, obviously, of course. How many times do we have to beat that dead horse?
Glorious Gale or whatever it's called.
We haven't seen Weck do for a while, actually.
No. I guess final thing on this, there's a 1-off Merchant Scroll as well in the main, which is nice that fairly expensive common can actually see some play now. High Tide's gone.
Is it dropped again? Is it cheap as chips?
Well, maybe, yeah.
I don't know, I'm just curious. On Magic Online, I know it wasn't that expensive, and then it shot up, but yeah. It's always good to see that it gets to see some play. I do like Merchant Scroll in FAMS, to be fair.
Gets to see the light in.
Back down to 2 tickets. It was like 19.
Buy him now before it's broken again, because it will eventually be broken again. Demonic Tutor is too good for Pauper.
Moving further down.
6th place.
Yes.
White Weenie Heroic from Sodek.
Mm-hmm.
White Weenie Heroic we've been seeing a lot of with the Wonderweave, Aerialist and Sandstorm bridges, but then completely changed the other creatures to basically abandon armadillos and stick a lot of Akron Skyguards back in.
But they've added the important part. The 4th, Homestead, Courage. It's in! It only took like months
I guess, to be fair, if you're now like, you're cutting the guys that aren't actually heroic and going back to the old heroic way of, I'm going to max on the heroic guys I can play with, the 4 Skyguard, the 4 Trailblazer. The Homestead Courage looks a lot better. When it was like Armadillos and Deathblade elites, like, still like, it looks good, but it looks a lot worse than it does here. Other than that, I don't think that is really many other changes. Obviously, in Heroic, you just played the best enchantments anyway, so you can't really do much maneuvering there. Still on 3 Emergence Gaved and down to 2 Sandstone Bridges rather than the 3 that we initially seen. But yeah, I like it. I like going up to 4 Skyguard. Your deck's called Heroic. You should play the guys with Heroic. And then, yeah, as I said, the going to 4 Skyguard makes the 4 Homestead Courage make a lot of sense.
I do love how all the Heroic decks agree on one thing, that the sideboard should be 4 Raven Charms, 3 Shields, 3 Mask of Law and Grace, and then add whatever the else you want in. Okay.
I thought you were going to say, like, the correct number of Wonderweave Aerialist is 3.
But that is also true, to be fair.
I feel like we've never seen any number other than 0 or 3.
It's because the card is either terrible or absolutely insane. It's none of the above. Like, that's it. Every time I play, it looks crap. But
yeah, the sideboard definitely does feel partially set in these heroic decks with, like you said, the 3 masks, 3 shield, and then 4 Raven Charm. One of the armadillos has survived in the sideboard, which I feel is quite interesting. I'm not sure where that, maybe against something like Gardens, where you just need another, like, all your stuff's getting killed off. You just need another bit of a threat that's, I guess, slightly more resilient than anything else because it's got that ward.
Yeah.
Or maybe against something like Madness, where the Akron Skyguard is a lot harder to, like, set up. The downside of the Homestead Courage is it's a sorcery, so if you're playing Skyguard on 3, have a harder time of saving it against a Lava Dart.
Put a solid footing. I do agree. It's pretty. I do think that's probably where it is. It's just like where you need bigger guys and something with more protection. All eyes on me running basically the exact same Generous End Nick Spawn Hydra.
Back-to-back 7ths, right? Both were 7. Yeah.
The
consistency.
Can
they've actually gone up. Oh no, they haven't gone up a land. Still on the 18. Could be flickering.
All eyes on me actually had 3 top 8s this weekend. They were in the Friday as well, but we didn't realise it because they were playing Grixis in it.
That'll do it.
So, yeah.
Oh, they were also 7th on the Friday. Yeah. What consistency is this? The Nick Spawn Hydra and 2 Generous Ends still remain as well on the Sunday. Anything else you want to touch on? I think that's probably about it.
Yeah, I think so. Nothing too crazy out the Sunday. Such a massive challenge as well. Cool to see. 74 people. Sure.
Back to the Goated Sundays from last week.
Yeah. So we didn't have any listener hot takes, so we've just got our own.
Yeah. So my first hot take was that Borok's Moxite would get the win next week or this week, which it did not do. Did appear in 6th and 6th. But that's not a win.
Viashino constantly consistent with Boros Moxite.
Needs to commit more and get the dub.
And then mine was that Baco will win with Blue Black. Baco did do well. They came 5th on the Thursday. I think they were featured somewhere else as well, but I'm not really. They were not on Blue Black Fair. They were on Madness. There you go.
Did you not play against them on the Sunday as well?
Baco, yeah, he was on Wall Spy.
Yeah,
he was on Wall Spy.
He couldn't recover from Teasdale's beating.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Otherwise, he would have top 8'd.
Yeah. Yep.
Hot takes for next week. The first listener hot take is that Corgate will overtake FAMS as the blue-white deck of choice. Yeah, pretty interesting one because they both feel like they're coming back pretty strong at the moment.
Yeah. Obviously, FAMS before Geddon started making a resurgence, like with quite a lot of top 8s, but Corgate was nowhere. But now they both just seem equally as everywhere. We'll have to keep an eye on the 32 numbers. The next one is that from Aftershock, that Rally Red will overtake Madness in popularity. They did say in the next few months, but hard to predict really, but I'm unsure. I just feel like the Madness deck is just the better, as we said earlier, not heads and shoulders above the rest. Like Rally Red's still a very good deck. But
yeah, it definitely feels like it is slightly above the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see like the meta shift into a place where Rally is better just because the strategy is so much like so different. But I could also see it going the other way where it shifts to a point where Madness is just even better than it is now.
Sure.
My hot take for next week is that the Mystic version or the Delverless version of Terra will outperform the Delver version of Terra next week.
We're getting a shift.
Everyone buy into the hype.
on buying into the hype. I sort of feel like a different Terror deck is going to become the more popular one, hopefully. That basically the meta will become a lot more focused on the blue-white decks, as in sort of similar to what they were saying about blue-white Fams and Corgates. We'll have a lot of blue-black focus, mainly in Terror, with the Abandoned Attachments version. And,
no Return of Fear.
Well, probably, yeah, generally. But I do think it's going to focus on the Terror deck, to be fair. I think the Abandoned Attachments Terror seems pretty good. And then obviously the red Madness deck will become the more metagame shell, that's what I think will happen next.
No, that's it from me.
Thank you all for the continued support. Apologies for my sniffling. I tried my best. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please do not forget to share it with your friends, your family, your local Pauper community, and even your moving companies. That is all from us at Cast and Comments. Until next time, and don't forget to stay hydrated.